Hey, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakha HaKodash. Double honor to my elders, apostles, and bishops at Great Millstone, who rule well. Peace, love, and safety to the hopeful elect Alkim out there doing this work. Much love to the scattered elect and to the few sincere women that subscribe to the true doctrine. This is the brother you call Amath with the Great Millstone Camp, branch out here in Omaha, Nebraska, coming back with another lesson, Lord willing, to feed and to edify the lost sheep of the nation of Israel through the Holy Spirit, Rakha HaKodash. And the Israelites consist of the so-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans by the seed of your father, no matter what you may look like. And I want to get into this quick lesson. I'm going to entitle it, What Makes You Think You Won't Be Scared? And this is talking to the men that are within the fold, that are prophets, that are teachers, that are believers in Yahweh Shemel Shai, as well as you women out there that subscribe to the true doctrine of Yahweh Shemel Shai, and look forward to prophecy coming to pass. Because with prophecy, Jacob's trouble, is going to be a scary thing. It's not just going to be scary for the 2/3 and the rest of the people in the world. It's going to be scary for everybody, But this is why our faith has to lie in Yahweh Shemel Shai. It truly has to lie in Yahweh Shemel Shai, because what does it say in the book of 1 Corinthians? All right, let's get that real quick. And I do pray that this is an edifying video. Something that influenced this topic, I was listening to the Elder Apostle Gabar, and he just had me thinking. He mentioned something alluding to Jacob's trouble, and as far as the men of the Lord getting saved up out of it, as it says in the book of Jeremiah 30, verse 7, where it says that it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he should be saved out of it. Well, I had to think about, that means we're going to be in it. Okay, we're going to be in Jacob's trouble, right? Which is, the sedition among men, right? Which is the coming terror from Esau, Edom. We're seeing a glimpse of that right now with Trump. Okay, where he deployed those troops out there in D.C. And I seen another video as of recent. And I'm not sure of how, like exactly when this happened. I had to go and double check, but there was troops that also landed in Chicago. All right. So, yeah, man, Jacob's trouble is not going to be something that just the people in the world are going to deal with. We're going to have to deal with it too. Okay. So let's get this. This is the book of 1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. It says, "There had no temptation taking you, but such as is common to man. But the Most High, Yahweh, is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able, but with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it." And this specifically is talking about the different troubles and straits that we go through. Having kids by these monsters that we call women. And having to deal with being on child support, and having to go to Esau, Edom's job, and work under a rigorous ruler. Just the different troubles that are of the flesh. All right. So that's primarily what this precept talks about. When we look at this in contrast, why wouldn't this apply to Jacob's trouble? Now, the Most High will protect his men. He will protect those whom he loves. All right. As it says in the book of Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, it says he have no care but none for his elect. This is why the elect will be saved at the time of Jacob's trouble, but we're going to have to experience it. This is why it says in, what was it saying in Isaiah? I believe it's in the book of Isaiah, where it says that his servants will eat and others will mourn. All right, because we're gonna witness the troubles that Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to bring upon the earth. And here's a perfect example right here of the fact that we're going to have to deal with, the hopeful elect, that is. We're going to have to deal with the same troubles. Okay? Right here in the book of Ezra, the 16th chapter. And it's a real good read. I'll start at 13. The point is a little bit further down, but I just want to get all the meat off the bone, right? So this is the book of 2nd Ezra 16, verse 13. It says, "For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow." Right, and the bow is talking about those ICBM missiles that are going to be shot by these different countries, such as Russia, Korea, North Korea, China, Iran, all these different nations that possess nuclear capability. And that lines up with the book of Jeremiah 50 and Jeremiah 51, where it says to shoot all your arrows. All right, all the arrows are going to be shot upon America, Babylon the Great. Right, it says his bows, his arrows, that he shooteth the sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Okay, now an actual arrow, can't be shot from one end of the earth to another. Like an actual arrow that you put in a bow, right? You can't shoot that from from Nebraska to Alaska. That's a hell of a distance, or from Russia to the shores of Florida. You can't shoot an actual arrow that far. This is talking about those thermonuclear missiles, right? It says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth, right? The missiles being a plague, all right? These different pestilences that we're experiencing right now, they're plagues, such as the new COVID variant that came out recently, all right? You have measles. You have, and I just seen something recently where you have so-called zombie squirrels and rodents, just popping up in people's yards, which can also spread disease. All right. So, I mean, this is just to name a couple. All right. You had the sea ragamuffin. That was a plague. So, the Most High said that these plagues are not going to return, so they shall come back. Salakia, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. It says the fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward. Even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. Okay, so this is talking about Jacob's trouble. Right? Now what does Ezra say? Because Ezra is back in the earth today. It says, woe is me. Woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? Which proves, one, reincarnation is an actual thing, because what he's speaking of, as far as the arrows being shot and the plagues being sent, he didn't have to experience that when this was written. This was written over 2,000 years ago. So he's back here in this very day and age. So he knew about reincarnation, because he said, who will deliver me in those days? Right? Now, so that proves reincarnation. And number two, what it proves is the point that I'm getting into, that he's going to have to experience it. He's going to witness this. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? All right. So what makes you think that you're not going to be scared? And this is something that I start asking myself very much recently, especially when I heard that the apostle Gabar, referencing Jacob's trouble. Because we're not exempt. All right. Hey, another part of Jacob's trouble is going to be with the MOTB. Okay, that's the something that, as it says, let's get that. I believe that's in the book of Revelation, the 3rd chapter, where it speaks about the temptation that shall come upon all the world. Right? Yep, this is Revelation 3 and verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, the holy scriptures, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which is talking about that micro C hip. Because everybody's going to be, either forced, not forced to take. Everybody's going to be presented to take this chip. Whether you're a man of the Lord or whether you're an individual that's on the outside looking in. Everyone's going to have to go through this, because do we not all have to live? All right. And one thing about Esau Edom and this micro C hip, he wants to replace the Federal Reserve note and bring in this digital, the digital age, for lack of a better term. And it's going to be a form of payment. And you see individuals doing it already, getting a chip in their hand. There's people getting multiple chips, and they're going and paying for things in the store. Okay, that's going to be pushed upon all the world, specifically here in the Babylon the Great America. So will we not be faced with this too? All right. But it says we have kept the word of his patience. So Lord willing, we are delivered from this hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So everyone's gonna have to experience this, man. Those that are the elect, they're not gonna take that shit. They're gonna be preserved from the said perils. Outside of those who were deemed to be martyrs in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai's name. All right, those individuals are going to rise first, as it says in the scriptures. Those that be dead in Yahushai shall rise first. All right, but the elect is going to be preserved. That doesn't mean that they're going to escape all the troubles, or as far as not having to witness it. Just like what the Genesis said, where they said that the elect is not going to have to experience the trouble that's coming. Roughly paraphrasing what they said, but they said we're not going to have to experience these troubles, but that the elect is going to be beamed up before. No, we're not. No, they're not. All right. Now the elect will be beamed up, before those missiles hit. When the book of, was that 1 Peter? I believe 1 Peter 4 says that. 1 Peter 4 and 17, I believe. Let's see. 4 and 18, it says, let's start at 17. 1 Peter 4 and 17, it says, for the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. Those are the Israelites. That's the Most High's dwelling place, his tabernacle. And if it first began at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of the Most High? All right, which those are individuals that are in the world, those who don't, cannot and will not comprehend the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that won't hearken unto the prophets, but live according to their own means. This is who it's talking about, that obey not the gospel. Now this is the point. It says, and if the righteous scarcely be saved, where shall the ungodly and the sinner appear? Now scarcely is barely. I mean, we're gonna, the elect, and Lord willing, I'm up that number. It's gonna be snatched right up by those chariots, with the world ignorantly calls UFOs, and not gonna have to experience the hurt of those thermonuclear missiles. So, that means what? That we're going to have to deal with the troubles all the way up until that point. So, I just wanted to really bring that out. Didn't have too many precepts that I wanted to bring out. I just went with what the Spirit provided, and I pray that this was an edifying lesson, man, because who says that we're not going to be scared? Who said that fear won't come upon us? Right? Matter of fact, let's get one more precept. And something that the elder brother here, he speaks on is, concerning younger brothers, me, myself included, is, as far as Jake, if Jake's not working on certain things now, as far as really leaning on faith, stepping out on faith right now while we have the opportunity to, what makes you think that it's going to just we're going to snap right into it when the time of Jacob's trouble comes? Okay. This is Isaiah 33, verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is his treasure. And that stability going into the faith. The things that we've learned, the things that we've been commanded to utilize as far as the Spirit is concerned. That's what we're going to have to lean on. And if we don't have any works and faith attached to it, salvation may not be destined for you. All right, so I'm gonna end it there. And I pray that the elect brothers out there and your few sincere sisters were edified. I'm gonna give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles and bishops at Great Millstone. Peace, love, and safety is to the elect. Shalom.